Now we know all the different types of serves, the flat serve, the topspin serve, and the slice serve. Now I'm going to teach you how to hit the flat serve. This is probably the most common hit serve, and it's kind of a serve that people don't quite understand. The critical thing, like I talked about at the beginning of these tapes, is the grip. You want to make sure that you have the grip as a continental grip, or the V of the hand, on platform number 1. Then as you're hitting a flat serve, all it is a throwing motion. It's a matter of going here, pronating your forearm, reaching, snapping, and following through across the body. You do the same thing if you're going to throw a ball. You don't throw a ball sideways. You pronate the forearm, you go through, release, and follow through. It's the exact same motion. So again, via the hand, continental grip, go through that motion that we talked about, rotating the hips, shoulders, racket goes up to the power position, reach, snap, follow through across the body. That grip is critical so that you can get that full snap in order to get the ball down in the court. Just like our overheads, this is critical, the snap of the wrist. The toss, we want it off of the right ear and at the height of our reach. So when we get that full extension, it's off the right side, height of the reach, we're able to snap down in. I tell people that years ago in high school, our math teachers always told us that math would be used throughout your life. Think about the best angle down into the court. The best angle into the court is at the height of your reach. As we come down, the ball has to loop over. For a nice hard flat serve, we want to make sure we get full extension on the body. We make contact at the height of our reach so that we get up here, get a great angle down into the court, and snap it into the body. Again, let me look at it here this way and give you this view. We go at you, it's to the side, height of the reach, snap, follow through across the body. One more time. Go through the motion, toss goes up, height of the reach, up, reach, snap, and follow through. Just a throwing motion. Keep it simple. I'm going to go through a drill with you right now. I take all of my people through this because it's such an easy way to teach. What it does is it really magnifies the problem. I'm going to move you up to the service line, and if your toss is behind your head, or if you don't snap that wrist, there's no way you can snap the ball down into the box. You have to be able to hit it in the box from the service line. And then we can start moving our way back about halfway and then the full way. You'll see that the motion's identical, whether we're at the service line, halfway back to the baseline, and on the baseline. Now we've moved you up to the service line. From here, really watch where the toss is and watch the snap of the wrist. That's the critical things to work from this position. If you don't get that toss in front and it gets behind you, I guarantee there's no way you can snap that ball down into the court. What we want to do is go through the regular service motion and get used to that toss in front, snapping it down into the court. Go through the exact same motion, snap it down into the court. Very important to snap that wrist, and in order to get it into that box, you have to snap the wrist. It's critical, and that toss has to be out in front. So let's work on this a little bit more. Really go through the full service motion, and on this flat serve, again, go through that full motion, pronate the forearm, which opens or flattens out the racket face, snap the wrist, and catch that ball out in front, and then get all of your weight going into the ball so you can really work on the power and down into the court. Here, pronate, snap down into the court. If you can get this down, it's the exact same motion as we move back to the baseline. Again, get your feet set, go through the full motion, get the toss out in front, reach, snap, and follow through. Full motion, reach, snap, and follow through. Now I'm going to give you a couple of looks at what you don't want to do. These are some of the things that I see out walking around the club. Too often I see tosses going back and people are falling away. It's a killer of your power, it's a killer of control, and there's no way you're going to be able to hit the ball hard into the box. So if that toss is behind and you're moving back, notice even then, with a big snap of the wrist, I couldn't get it down into the court. It's back and down. There's no way. I see that all the time. People's tosses are all over the place. Really work on the consistency of the toss. Really work on the snapping of the wrist. Those are the two things I see lacking more than anything else. People try to get here and muscle the ball in rather than be relaxed, snapping through and following through. I like to use the terminology of a bullwhip or something like that. See these little kids and they're just out here nice and relaxed. You want to be nice and relaxed and let that arm fly. Snap it down into the court. It's very easy when it's done properly. So then once we've worked several times up at the service line, we'll want to move back maybe halfway between the service line and the baseline. So let's move on back and see it from this angle. Now we've moved back about halfway back between the service line and the baseline. The motion is going to be identical. Work on your toss out in front, work on pronation of the forearm, and the snapping it down into the court. Go through your full service motion. Down into the court. Full service motion. Down into the court. Really work on that toss. Work on the full motion and getting up to the ball. Full extension, snap, and follow through. This is the most commonly hit serve. And once we understand what causes the ball to go in and out, it's very easy to adjust and make it go where we want it to go. And a lot of it's in the snap of the wrist and the toss. Those are the two critical elements in a good flat serve. If the balls are all going long, normally it's caused because the tosses are back behind your head. If the balls are going into the net, it's normally caused because your head's being pulled down. The adjustment for these are tosses or balls going long, get the toss further out in front so we can get up over the top of it and snap it down into the court. If they're going into the net, utilize your left hand. Agassi's a great example of this. You watch him serve and his left hand is up there quite a long time. That helps keep your chest and head up, help you keep focused on the ball so you're able to keep that head up and not pull it down into the net. Those are some adjustments that we want to make. Now I want to move you back to the baseline to work on the exact same serve. As you'll notice, the motion's going to be identical and everything will work the same as it did up at the service line. Exact same motion, snap the wrist, and the results are there. It's a matter of going through the full motion, snap and follow through. The exact same motion. Once you feel comfortable from the service line and halfway back, it's very easy to hit it from the baseline. As you noticed, everything was identical. We go through the full motion, we get up, reach, pronate the forearm, snap through, and follow through. Everything is moving into the court as I'm utilizing my legs, the rotation of the hips, shoulders, the arm, the snap of the wrist, and the follow through to generate the most power possible. The flat serve is where they're hitting 140 miles per hour. This is the one that will woo all the people out there. It's very important to understand how it works. Once you do, it's very easy to hit. Then we can get the consistency where we want it to be. 65%, 70% maybe if it's a great day, serving day. But if we're hitting full speed, your opponents are going to have some trouble. Go work on the flat serve. Get out on the court, work from the service line back, and you'll find it much easier to serve from the baseline once you understand how to get it in from the service line, because everything is magnified from there. Moving back is actually easier to get it into the box. So go out and practice, and your flat serve will be that dominant serve that you're looking for.